Hello and welcome to Full Time Score with your boy TC Ramovic. We started it last week. We're going again with it. I'm not alone. I've got my main man Sifiso with a bright smile on his face. I think he has a Springbok jersey on today.
Always.
The Springboks also won yesterday. It was a good weekend. So we're here
Yeah,
tonight, me and
congratulations to
Sifiso.
them.
We're gonna break it down, you and me tonight. What happened this past weekend? Let's start it, man. Let's kick it off, man. We had the Carling Cup semi-finals. First game Saturday, Mangezi up against the Rich Boys of the Bay, Richards Bay United. Then on Sunday, we had Royal, but rather I want to say Marumo Gallants up against Mamelodi Sundowns. But let's start with Saturday's game. Mangezi winning 1-0 against the Rich Boys, making it to the final. I mean, it's an amazing achievement, Swiso, because they just started in the PSL this season. They got promoted at the end of last season into the PSL. Post promotion, they had a big win against Pirates in this cup, and they've gone all the way to the final in the league as well. They've not been too bad, and yeah, man, it seems like Clinton Lawson, he's back with a vengeance, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, show my brother, show my brother. I'm happy again to talk about football, what we love, something that we are passionate about. I'm happy in Magezi with what they've achieved so far. Magezi, they are doing well for themselves. Although they are not doing well, but we discussed goals. But I'm happy for them that they are where they are in the cup, they're in the finals. And it's a round 2 for Clinton Larsen against Mamelodi Sundowns. He'll be playing against them again in the final. He once did that in 2012. I don't know who he was coaching, whether he was coaching Celtics or what, but it was on 2012 when he was facing Sundowns. And there were some critics there how it happened. I think he won there or something like that. But can we see the repeat? We don't know. But when I was looking at that game against the Richards Bay, congratulations to them. They did well. Mashihu did well, scored a beautiful goal. There were no controversials that way to talk about. The refereeing was beautiful. It was good. There were not too much mistakes from the ref was refereeing there. But you know what? The mistakes that were done by Richards Bay, it cost them. It cost them. That one mistake that they did, it cost them. And I think it made them to when it comes to a cup game, cup game is not the same as the league. Once you get your chance, you score a goal, then you are done, you close. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to be play nice football or whatever. It's a cup game. It's a semi-final. You are an underdog. And anything is possible. Anything is possible. Just have to believe in yourself and do it. And they did exactly that. They believe in themselves. They have the confidence. And I think the guy who cost them the goal, Utsepo Mabua, he cost them the goal by thinking the keeper is close, passing him, doing back pass. You don't do a back pass like that. You don't do it direct to the goals. You do it on the side, because when you do it direct on the goals, it will cost you. If the keeper can't reach the ball, or maybe tries to trap it and then makes a mistake, it goes straight to the goals. So I think he was just supposed to consider a corner there, do something about that ball, because the goalkeeper was far from him to reach that ball quickly, and so that he can be able to react to that ball. But that was the only mistake that they did, and it cost them. It cost them. Unfortunately, Brendan Truta, he's a very good coach. He's a very good coach. He has done a good job with Richards Bay. We've seen what he's done with the former Morocco Swallows, now called Marumo Gallants. He's done well. He's done well with the team, and unfortunately, it wasn't to be. But the performance from Richards Bay was not that good. I think they were supposed to make sure that they maybe equalize in the first half, because you can't go in the second half trailing 1-0 against a team like Magesi. Magesi, when they play pound for pound, and they make sure that once they score, they just pack the pass. And well done to Chipezeze. Well done to Chipezeze. He did his job Man of the match for the third time, Prathabang, for the third time in a row. It is beautiful. Chipazeze is a difference in the team in my case. He's a difference in the team in my case, Chipazeze. And what he's done to that team in terms of experience. It is amazing what one person can do to a team with his experience. The likes of Umzava, they bring in the experience in the team, and you need that experience. You need that experience. Although I still think they need more of experience to add into the team so that they can just boost those boys, because it will be hard for them in the second leg. It will be hard for them in the second leg to survive, because you must remember they need to balance. They need to balance this thing. It is the cup game, it's the league. Which one is important? You see, you get injuries this side, and then what happens to you in the league, you see. So, and they went all out in the semifinals. They went all out in the semifinals. It's just they are fortunate that there's a FIFA break. Then they can just recover. They can recover when they come back. Then they'll be good. But well done to Clinton Larsen, a very good coach, one of the most underrated coaches yet again. We were speaking about other coaches, Steve Barker last time. I think he's one of the most underrated coaches, and he's very, very talented coach. Tactically, he's sound. He knows what he's doing. When it comes to like coaching, he's a brilliant coach. And I still feel he needs to be tested in other big, so-called big teams like South Africa. Yeah, so it was a good game, and congratulations to them. They'll be playing against a very good team, Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, man. I think I could be wrong, man. I'll start with this point. The time Celtics in 2012, they beat Mamelodi Sundowns 1-0. The goal was controversial because no one was sure if it crossed the line or not. I think it was scored by Joel Mokorosi or someone. Exactly. And if I could be wrong, but that was the last game Johan Nieskens coached at Sundowns. After that, he left and then Pieter Msimani took over. I could be wrong, but it was one of Johan Nieskens, the late now, who passed away maybe 2-3 weeks back. I think it was his last ever game as Mamelodi Sundowns coach. That final, that time. I think in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Sifiso, I think you've broken down well. I mean, I agree with most of your points that Magesi have done very well so far. Even on Saturday, you could see that Magesi had a plan, and their plan was very simple, and they've played with the same plan all these games. Yeah. They are a transitional team. Exactly. If you are in England, you call it a kick and rush type of game, almost like how coaches like Sam Allardyce and that guy from Stoke City, Tony Pulis, how they want to play football. They don't care about possession. They don't care about opening up play. They don't care about playing out from the back. They just want to make sure that they are solid in defense, and going forward, they've got quick enough players and clinical enough players. And it's worked for them so far because it got them to the final. I don't like teams like Richards Bay. I hate watching teams like Richards Bay. And I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful to them.
Me too.
I hate those teams. I could probably mention a few. Too. Richards Bay, probably I'll go Royal EM. Okay, Marumo, yes. Not now. Chippa United, not now. But teams like Richards Bay, Royal EM, and some others maybe I may have forgotten. They're not supposed to be in the PSL. Some of them benefited from our promotional playoff system that I think is rubbish. So they stay in the league. They had a coach last season, Kanu Vilagazi. He was a good coach. Vusmusi Vilagazi. He's now at Amazulu alongside Akazwa. He was a good coach. He saved them through that system. Then they get rid of him. Then they bring in Brendan Truth. Now, Truth is a decent coach, but unlike Klaassen on the side, you never know what Truth is doing. He doesn't really have a philosophy. Is he an attacking coach? Is he a defensive coach? Is he a transitional coach? What type of football does Brendan Truth's side play? I watched Richards Bay play Pirates during the week, right? And Pirates is Pirates, man. We know Pirates where they are. But they did nothing against Pirates. And it comes back and translates again on Saturday to say they had all the ball possession, but they hardly created. They created chances and chances and saved most of them. Exactly. But they didn't really do enough to put pressure on Magesi FC. And credit to Magesi for me, man. Magesi is a top team. Well, not a top team, but for the position they're in, they're very top. They've got a top coach. And they've got owners who believe in the coach and they back the coach. They've got a lot of experience. You mentioned some players. There's also one guy there I saw, Dylan Mekua, used to play for Maritzburg United back in the day.
Yes.
He was there forever. Yeah. And he's there in the midfield there of Magesi. Looks quite good. There's a guy called Wasman Makubu. I think he's one of the goal scorers in the tournament. those guys look very good. They're doing the job, and that's why I'm making a reference of your Tony Pulis, your Stokes of long ago. Is that you know what they're going to do. When Sundowns play Magesi, we know what Magesi are gonna do. They're not gonna open up the game. They're not gonna attack Sundowns. They can't. What they're gonna simply do is they're just gonna try and sit back, limit spaces for Sundowns players, limit opportunities, and if they get one or two chances, they're gonna bury those chances and defend. So I'd rather have in your lower teams, your number 13, 14, 15, 16 down there. I want, even if they are not good teams in terms of individual quality, but at least have a philosophy that you play by. We saw Marumo Gallants. We're going to talk about it now. We know what Marumo Gallants do. Nowadays, at least Chippa United, we're starting to see something with this new coach of Kwalen Lokop. We're starting to see something. Abo Richards Bay, Royally M, no one is really sure what they do. Like, if I'm generalizing, no one's really sure what they add to our league.
Definitely.
What they do. That's why I'm like, I hate watching those guys. Like, I don't like watching them because you're going to sit there and you're going to start saying, but South African football is trash, man. At least, even if you don't have quality players, you don't have money for quality players, but at least have some form of style of play that can keep us entertained. So that when we go to the stadium to watch you, at least we know what, but those guys, they may not be getting wins, but at least there's something we're seeing that's nice. Like Marumo Gallants is doing in Bloemfontein. We know they don't have quality. They don't have all the money, but we know at least we know dance. We're going to get some football. But other teams, man. But anyway, I don't want to go there. I think I'm going far away with it. Sorry, I'm losing the focus here. But I'm happy for Magesi. I'm happy for Clinton Larson. This is Magesi in their history as a club, their biggest game thus far. This is the biggest game they're going to play. And as you said now, they have to choose at some point. Do we compete in cups or do we stay in the league? Right now, they don't have that stress because, the organizers of South African football and FIFA have decided that straight after the FIFA break, we're back to the cup. So they can get rid of the cup quickly, refocus on the league, But it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be held in Bloemfontein as well, Toyota Stadium. So they're going back to Bloem again. Or Sundowns is going back to Bloem. And I'm interested to see. Let's move on to the Sundowns games, Sifiso. Sundowns against Marumo Gallants yesterday at the Dr. Petrus Molemela Stadium. I think that's in Botshabelo. How did you see the games? How did you make of this game of Sundowns winning 2-0 down
there? Congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns for winning the semi-finals against Marumo Gallants, against one of the intelligent coaches yet again, Malesela. He knows how to plan, and he knows what he's doing. But it was a game of, I can say, not a game of two halves, but a game whereby anyone who takes the chances wins the game. It was one of those games whereby if you take your chance, you will win the game. And I feel that Sundowns was a bit below par compared to the performance against the Kaizer Chiefs. I think maybe is it because the players were trained, they used too much energy in that game. Maybe I don't know, but maybe I don't think a coach will be happy with their performance because their performance against Kaizer Chiefs was first class. But when it comes to against Marumo Gallants, I don't know what was happening, but it was the same team almost. It was the same team, the first lineup. We saw Shaluli playing there again with those two guys, Reynas, Ribeiro up front. We had yet again Umukwena, Obas yet again in the midfield. Mvala, Kikana at the back. Then you have your Mudau and Umuriba and on the left. It was one of those games whereby Sundowns is saying, how we are playing the semi-final, we just need goals, then we carry on. We can forgive them for that. Because you don't have, like I said, you don't have to be fancy. Just win the game, then continue. And Mamelodi Sundowns is going to the finals, and Mamelodi Sundowns is never lucky in cup games, especially in the finals. Most of the time they get to the finals, they don't win it most of the time. And it will be good players. There are many players to win this cup. It will be good for their confidence. The last time they won the trophy was when they won, besides the league, they won the trophy. What is it called? The one that the FA, the one that is the new one, man. That is under
I think it's the AFL, the African Football League.
Yeah, yeah, AFL. Yeah. That was one of the domestic cup that they won, and when it comes to cup games, they are not that much like in the finals at the time. So I think it will be the time for them to win. But when you look at the game itself, I saw the likes of Ribeiro was shining, man. Ribeiro was shining. Ribeiro is confident. Ribeiro is confident. You don't say penalty that way when you're confident. You can't risk it. So he just was trying to show off to say, look, I'm the best player in the PSL. I can do whatever I want. And even the second goal, you can see when they scored that goal, they were playing around in the 18 area, just knocking the ball around, just shining, just saying, they don't care who's coming and for cover and whatever. They don't care who's in front of them. They just play the ball around it. You can see the confidence in the players in Mamelodi Sundowns. They are happy to play and they're enjoying themselves. And I could see in the second half they were just shining and showing off. Although the goals they're not that much, but their performance was not as good as it was against Kaizer Chiefs. But they did what they were supposed to do. They won the game. They want to go to the finals. We can't blame them. They did well. They played well. But congratulations to Ribeiro. He was good. The guy was good. The guy was excellent in that game. Like I said, he's full of confidence. He's doing wonders in Mamelodi Sundowns. Some people say maybe he's replacing Umshishi. I don't know about that, but he's good. He's a good player. He's a good player. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Mangoba Mkriti. I'm happy he kept the same team. He was consistent. Keeping the same team is good. Keeping the same team, playing the same team, playing the same players is very good for Mamelodi Sundowns. What they are doing is very good because you build that confidence. You continue with the same lineup. It also brings the competition because Sundowns has so many players at the bench, so many players at the reserve. You need to keep that level. These players can see with these competitions in Mamelodi Sundowns. And you could see when this guy Mayema scored the goal. You could see when he scored that goal, he was so happy because Uyangena, and then when he comes in from the bench, he is good for the player, especially a young player, to come in from the bench and score a goal. It's good for his confidence. It's good for him. It's good for other players as well who can see when I get in, I score a goal, it will boost my confidence. So staying on the bench sometimes it can do good to a player and give confidence to a player because when it comes to cup games, coaches will try to risk it and maybe play smaller younger players and say let's play younger players and just put them in so that they can gain some experience. But he didn't do that. He just kept the consistency, playing the same team to show Uguti he wants this cup because Mamelodi Sundowns has so many games to play. They have so many games to play per season, and they need to balance. So you might not blame him when he plays some reserve players so that he can save the other players. But he just kept the squad the way it was, and it was a good performance, although it was not as good as it was against Kaizer Chiefs. That one I have to stress it because we want to see that. We want to see that every game with Sundowns. Not every game, but we want to see it happening most often. They need to be lethal. They need to show what we are champions. They need to show that we are the best team in South Africa.
But you said a mouthful, and you know what, my man, I couldn't agree with you more. Man. I mean, that was not vintage Sundowns. That was not what we saw last week. I mean, I remember we were doing this video last week, exactly a week ago, you and I, and we were excited. We saw a great team, a great starting 11, a great play. During the week, he changed everything, but I understood. And I think that's where, for me, my analysis starts, is that during the week against Polokwane City, they changed everything. He put in a whole new starting 11. And then Saturday, it's a whole new starting 11 again. The problem with rotating too much, too quickly, the combinations don't build. The chemistry doesn't stay. So this week we're playing this defensive backline. Next week it's a new backline, back four. Next week it's this front three. It doesn't build chemistry. And I think that's what affected Sundowns' performance, especially in the first half, because Sundowns were poor in the first half. They didn't look like they were Sundowns that we thought they would be. I didn't think they would beat Marumo 5-0 again, because I know Marumo this time they probably would have been smarter. but I did expect it not to be that difficult. And it looked difficult in the first half. You know, Ronan Williams made two saves. There was one, a glancing header he had to save. I think there was a one-on-one he also saved.
Yes.
I mean, Ronan Williams is a big football player in South African. I mean, he doesn't get the, I think he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. People are still saying Kune, who's probably now 90 years old, is still better than him, which I'll never understand. But you know, Ronan Williams is a huge football player in South Africa. And you can see the importance for him when he plays for Sundowns and when he's not in the team. It's a completely different team. And that's just a goalkeeper. He's not a midfielder, he's not a center back, he's a goalkeeper. And if he's not there, you can already see the difference. But
yeah.
Second half, Sundowns got back to it. They improved a bit. They started to control the ball a bit more. And that penalty, which I think you and I can say, that was a great penalty. That was world class, man. And I don't think you'll ever do that again. I don't think you'll have to do it there again because goalkeepers watch these videos. Goalkeepers watch the videos. You know? If I'm Clinton Larson, I'm making my goalkeeper watch that video. Say, Chief, watch this. If this guy takes a penalty, don't move too early. Stay still. Stay still. Because if he tries that again, you'll catch it. So I don't think you'll ever do that again. You know, it's a once-off penalty. I don't think we'll see that for a very long time, especially from him, unless it's another player who does it in another type of game. So, but it was a great penalty. And after that, obviously, the game opens up. Maruma chasing the game now. And that allows Sundowns to play Sundowns way. They start passing it around. Obviously, they start making some changes. There's this young boy, man, that I'm really, really falling in love with. His name is Kutlwano Lekhaku. I'm really liking this boy, Sifiso. You know, the 4 or 5 games I've been watching him, he gets the ball. He's not scared. He's fearless. He's going. He wants to create. He wants to take shots. He wants to pass. He wants to get into the box. I think Sundowns have unearthed another gem of a player there. I mean, they've also got Mabena, who's younger. So he's still probably in high school. But they've got 2 or 3 young players there at Sundowns. But Lekhaku for now, he's looking like a star in the making. You know, he's looking like someone who's coming. And if you think in general, you know, we've got Umfukeng, we've got Nkota and other players around the PSL. We look good for a solid under-23 team and a next Bafana Bafana team. You know, and guys like Bole Tlaku and Mufuki, and they'll be form of the next Bafana Bafana team. But you could see him coming in, the impact he made. And then, as you spoke about the goal, Neymar was scoring at his hometown. You know, he's from Bloem, scoring in his hometown. Probably one of the reasons why he was super excited about it. He deserves a goal, Neo. I think Neo is probably, for me, you know, Neymar was probably the most unluckiest player at Sunday, one of the most unluckiest players. Because when he was playing, he was really, really good. I think he got an injury, then he was out of the team. Then obviously Sundowns bought Boribero and other players that took his position. But there was a time where he was really, really, really shining. And I don't know what happened. I really don't know why he disappeared with the system. But I won't lie, man. I like him. I'm a fan of him. And I pray that things come back for him and he starts playing again. Because I think even Bafana Bafana at some point were interested in him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think they are.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I think they were, when mentioned the issue of Marugala, there are also a few players that I think did well. Udludlu did well. I think if he scored that goal in the second half, then if he scored that goal, they were back. And I think they were going to do something to Sundowns. They were going to start threatening Sundowns more. He did well. I think Robin Williams, yet again, world class. And the boy was just supposed to place that ball instead of just using the lace. Unfortunately, he used the lace, and you can't do that when you are one-on-one against a very good goalkeeper in South Africa, Robin Williams. You don't use the lace there. You just place the ball. Then it's a goal. You place the ball, then it's a goal. Pick a spot, then place it, then you score a goal. But I think it's some of the players there, Morocco Colors, they did well and they tried to fight, but unfortunately, Sundowns was too good and there was too much quality from Sundowns.
Yeah, I think ultimately one of the reasons why Sundowns won is this cup experience, winning mentality as well. Those things really play a vital role because, as you said, Sundowns have been in a lot of finals, even though they've lost a lot of them as well. They've also been playing at a higher level compared to players from Marumo. So that cup experience, that winning experience, that, you know, that ability just to always adapt to the situation, I think it helps Sundowns a lot because that was a tough game. That game was tougher than the other week's game. The other week it looked like Sundowns were coasting.
Yeah.
This week was quite tough. They had to really work hard for it. And credit to them, man. And yeah. So I want to say something before we move to the next segment, the final. How do you see it going?
Yes.
How do you see it going, man? Maybe it's a bit early. We've got 2 weeks before that. We've got international break, but just after this weekend, how do you see it going?
You mentioned something about other teams that don't necessarily have a certain plan when it comes to facing, especially bigger teams. They just go out there and do whatever they can to win the game. So I think it might be the case again in the finals with Clinton Larsen. Maybe he'll say, don't play beautiful football, don't try to do this and do that. Just go out there and just enjoy yourself and do what you can to win us the game. Like I said, Marquez is a team that plays pound for pound, and then they are not scared. They have nothing to lose. Let them just go out there and try to fight. But I think Mamelodi Sundowns will be too strong for them. And you mentioned something that is very, very important: experience from Mamelodi Sundowns and the know-hows when it comes to playing final game in the finals. That will boost Mamelodi Sundowns. It will boost Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns want to win this game. It won't be obvious. They won't win it maybe more than 3 goals. I think maybe they can win 3 or 2. You see, but they won't go beyond 4 and whatnot. I think it's going to be one of those games that is going to be tactical somewhere. But when it comes to the second half, obviously the experience of Mamelodi Sundowns will kick in, and they'll start. Marquez will start hiring, then Mamelodi Sundowns will start playing. As soon as Mamelodi Sundowns gets a goal soon, then I don't think it's going to be easy for Marquez. It will be too much for them. But if Marquez scores first, then it will be a different ballgame. Yeah. But will they score first is another question. But if Sundowns scores first, and they will be in control of the game, and I think it will be over for Marquez. But I think Mamelodi Sundowns will win the final.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Sundowns will win the final, and I think the key here, just from a tactical point of view, Sundowns will want to score quickly. They want to score first and quickly, because if the longer Sundowns don't score, and I think this is one of the weaknesses in this current Sundowns team, is that the longer they don't score, they become more impatient. They get frustrated. We saw this against Polokwane. We saw this against Stellenbosch in the MTN. Yeah. So we've seen this in patches, and that affects them, because it seems like Coach Mangoba is more obsessed with scoring goals. He wants to be ruthless, and but the previous Sundowns team, the coach didn't care. He just wanted to be knocked about. He was more, I want us to be in full control. I want us to dominate, and then the goals will come naturally. But this new Sundowns technical team seems to be more go, more box entries, more crosses into the box, more goals. And if Magezi can keep them at bay for at least 60 to 70 minutes, Sundowns might lose that match. And I think that should be probably the principal plan for Magezi, because Magezi, they know they are right now, how they got to this point is one way, counter-attacking football. All the way. They've just wait for that one mistake.
Exactly.
One mistake. That's how they got to this far. Even if you look at against Pirates, those 3 goals, one was a penalty, I know, but 2 of those 3 goals, counter-attack football at its best, brilliant counter-attacking football. So Sundowns need to be careful of that. But I think there's just too much quality in Sundowns. I look at Ribeiro, I look at Ikram Reyners, I look at Shalulile, I look at Obas, Mokwena, Alende, you go to the back line, Modau, Mudiba, Kankekana, Mtobi Mvala, and Ronan Williams. There's just too much quality from Sundowns. If Sundowns can click, they might just overwhelm Mangezi and Chipezeze. They might just lose, man. And Chipezeze, as you said, he's been brilliant in this tournament, but I think maybe this could be a stretch too far for them, and it will be unlucky, because I think they deserve it, man. They deserve it. They've been very strong. They've been good mentally. They've done everything. That's what I'm saying earlier. This is what I want to see in the so-called smaller teams or your lower league teams that have an identity of what they're going to do with the players they have. I don't want to watch a team that looks confused. Exactly. Then I get confused. You want to watch a team that you can see this is the plan, and I think they deserve a lot of credit, man. Like Mangezi deserve a lot of credit. They've got a philosophy. They've got a play structure. Yes, we don't like it. It's boring. No one wants to watch a team defend and go on counter for 90 minutes. But at the end of the day, it's what works for them because they can't afford quality players to play attacking football all over. You get me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Sifiso.
Definitely. Definitely. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. What you're saying is,
yes, I'm still here.
I think, yeah, we're still here. Okay.
Okay, welcome back, Sifiso. Let me start by apologizing to our viewers for that break. It seems as though things happened on my side here. There's been rain and all sorts of stuff. So that's really affected my network. And besides my network, electricity sometimes comes and goes here. It's a mess, man.
Yeah.
So let me apologize to you for because it's chowing your time, but also to the viewers who are obviously watching. It's also chowing their time. It kind of chows entertainment, but yeah, we'll see when I'm editing how things work out there, Ministry. So, but if I remember correctly, we're more or less done with talking about the cup finals. We're just the cup semi-finals. We're just looking forward to the cup final, which will take place straight after the
Yeah.
international break. I think it's on the 23rd of November. So should be an interesting one there. Sfizo, also during last week before the games, the cup games, we had the Bafana Bafana coach Hugo Bruce announcing his lineup, not lineup but rather squad for the next round of AFCON qualifiers.
Yeah.
Bafana Bafana looking to wrap it up now. It's been a bit up and down recently. You know, we won 5-0 against Congo here. We went that side. We played 1-1. We had some injuries to Bozwani. It's been up and down, but the coach now says it's time to finish the job now. Make sure we qualify for the next AFCON, which will be taking place in 2025. Let me just go through the squad, then we'll discuss the team and everything. Yeah? So we've got the three goalkeepers there. It's Ronan
Yeah.
Williams. Yeah, okay. Ronan Williams, Sage Stevens, Sipo Chaine, which is the goalkeepers. Then the defenders, we have Sydney Mobi, also known as Nico Mobi.
Mm-hmm.
Got Mutobi Mbala, Nkosnatis BC, Audrey Mudiba, Kuliso Mudau, Fawas Basadin, and Siabonga Ngezana, who's made a comeback. And then we've got our midfielders, will be Tebo Khomkwena, Batusi Obas, Luke Leroux, Talente Mbat. The forwards is Mihlali Manyambela, Oswin Apolis, Patrick Maswangai, Evidence Mahopa, Ikram Rainas, Elias Mukwana, Tapelo Morena, and of course, President Yama 2K, Relebuhile Mufukeng. That's the squad that's going to be playing the next two games. These are the last two games, which will be against Uganda and South Sudan, and we need to just win one, and then we're home and dry for the next for AFCON. So let's talk about the squad. Any surprises in terms of additions or exclusions there for you, Swiso?
I'm not surprised. Actually, I'm happy by the selection of Sage Stevens. Man, it's about time. It's about time. One of the best goalkeepers in PSL so far. He's proven himself. He's proven himself. He's the good goalkeeper. He's a shot stopper. That one is a shot stopper. You know, the games that he's been playing, I've been watching Stellenbosch. He's been doing very well. The defense, you know, you will tell about the defense when his goalkeeper performs well, then the defense will do well. So this goalkeeper is very good. It's about time that the coach finally calls him. For me, yeah, those are one of the players that I'm happy that they are in, and I'm so happy that Obas is back again in the squad. He did well. He even scored a goal in our game at, when we beat Congo 5-0. He scored a goal there. He was a very good player in that game. He did very well. He proved himself. Would he deserve to be in the squad? But overall, I'm happy. The squad is still good. The squad is still good. I see he's also consistent with the evidence. Mahopa. He's consistent about the guy. He leaves him out. But yeah, he's one of those men. Yeah, does he deserve to be in the squad? Is a discussion for another day. It's a discussion for another day. We saw him performing very well in the AFCON. He proved himself. He fought in the AFCON. No, I want to be part of the squad. But I'm also happy Umzana is there as well. Yeah, but other than I'm just happy about the goalkeeper, the squad of Bafana Bafana, and I think he'll do well. He'll do well because remember that Rowan Williams, he's not young anymore. He's not young anymore, and she'll get an injury, then we'll struggle. We'll struggle. So I think there's the goalkeeper. Even Sipo Chain is finally there in the squad now. Being called to the squad is very good. Umotwa, I think he just need to wait a bit. He'll come back. He'll come back. He'll come back. But for now, these three goalkeepers are very, 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 very. It's a very good squad. It's a strong squad, and I think they will do well in these two games. They will do very well in these two games, and more especially when we are playing at home against South Sudan. I'm a bit not sure about Uganda. It's be a tough one, that one. But against South Sudan, we do very, very well. But it's a good squad. It will perform. It will. They are consistent. Is consistent when choosing the squad, which is very good. And the players that he always chooses, they always prove what they want to be in the squad.
Wow, man. I like that. I like
Yeah.
what you said. In fact, if I can start with the goalkeepers from my side, yeah, I agree. Those three goalkeepers there, Ronan Williams, Sipo Chaine, Sage Stevens. For me, that's the best three keepers in the country, and it's been so for a while. One of the challenges I've had in the past is that if you think about AFCON early in the year, about 9 months ago now, we had Ronan Williams, I think we had Ricardo Goss, and we had the guy from Amazulu, Velimot, and you look at those two keepers, those two keepers who were understudies to Williams, they did not improve. You get me? But Uchaine and Sage Stevens have improved.
Yes.
And it's just rewards for improving consistently. Hence, they are there where they are. And I think that should be for me the goalkeeping core going into AFCON if we qualify. I believe we will qualify. I'm surprised that Ngezana's back, but I suppose this is his chance to prove himself. I remember the disastrous games he had in the other round there. He was a disaster. Those two games, he was an absolute disaster. But he was taken out and now he's brought back in the team. And I think who coach, there's some players that who coach likes. We know Mobi is one of them, Mvala is one of them, Mahopa is one of them. And Mvala has played a few games for Sundowns and he's been excellent. He's been very good for Sundowns. And already he's roped back in because the coach knows I trust this guy. I'm surprised he left out Karan Kekana because I'm thinking that the partnership between Mvala and Kekana has been very successful for Sundowns thus far this season. I didn't see a reason why he needs to break it up, but going into it, it's a national team. He has to choose everybody. He can't just choose Sundowns players only. So I understand. And then, our man up top, Mahopadonski. I don't know what they call him, but I Sifiso. No, I don't know. I don't know, man. South African football is very sentimental. People will tell you stories about how much they like him, they love him. They'll tell you sentimental things. And football is an objective game for me. And maybe that's just how I see the game. For me, wins and losses, goals, what I see on the field. I'm not interested in his hard work. He's a nice guy. He high fives other players. He hugs and kisses people after the matches. He takes selfies with the fans. He's from a humble home. I really don't care about that. I just want to see you do the job on the pitch. And to a certain degree, there's so many limitations in Evidence Mahopa's game. And I'm going to say it now. We're not going to win AFCON with the Evidence Mahopa as our number 9. I'm sorry to say that. And I really, really hope someone somewhere sees this because I'm not disrespecting him. He's a good player. He's a decent player. But he's not going to help us win anything. We don't want to win with that guy as number 9. We saw it in AFCON. He was number 9 the whole tournament. We struggled to score. Yes, maybe we can say it was default because Lyle Foster had some mental health challenges which didn't allow him to travel to Ivory Coast to come help. But Evidence Mahopa showed his quality. I think he's a very limited football player. He can do certain things well. For the international game, I'm sorry. Maybe at Pirates that works because at Pirates, there's a structure. He can play within that structure. But when I look at the national team, for me personally, I'm not a fan. But the coach likes it because of the physicality. He's tall, he's big, he works hard, he's humble, He high fives, he kisses babies after the match. He does nice things for everybody. So we'll select him on that basis. But I know for a fact when I look at the field objective, I do not expect to have Evidence Makgopa scoring 9 or 8 goals for us in a qualification campaign and getting us there. Like maybe Benny McCarthy would have done back in the day, or Sean Bartlett, one of those strikers, or even Katla Compare. We don't have that in that team. We need a striker, we need a number 9, someone who's lethal, someone who's ruthless. And it's a shame that guys like Abo Lyle Foster, they're just not doing it. Ikram Reiners, I don't know at Bafana Bafana, he seems a completely different player than the one we see at Sundowns. And then, now we have to play Makgopa. And we have to play Makgopa by default that no one else seems to be stepping up. And credit to Makgopa. He works hard, he does all these things.
Exactly.
But I don't think we're going to win with that guy. And it's not to say there's something wrong with him, but football-wise, I just don't see it, my brother. I do not see it in fact.
Yeah. And you mentioned something very important there, Pratavang. Football is about stats. It's about statistics. You look on that, then you've got you can say a lot about the game with stats that you have. So we look at Eastern Saga Makgopa in the PSL. He's not scoring that much, man. To be honest, he's not scoring that much in the PSL, and to me, he's a decent player, but an average player for me. Not that player who can go beyond, and you cannot expect too much from Evidence Makgopa. Like you said, maybe the South African fans are sentimental and whatnot, but when you look, honestly speaking, like you said, we cannot go and look further when it comes to strikers because they are not doing well. In South Africa, our strikers are not doing well. And we've been struggling with scoring goals in South Africa. We congratulate a player when he scores goals. I mean, come on. We can't congratulate a player when he scores 15 goals and we give them a golden boot. I think in South Africa, they should just maybe close the golden boot for some time until this player scores 20, 25, and you can speak about the golden boot. But for now, we can't speak about the golden boot, man. Because we score 15 goals, man. Come on, man. We can't. It's a season. And Ushalule came in, he scores more than that. He even beats other records while we're still struggling with our own strikers. But, man, for me, Evidence Makgopa, yes, they still need to. But there's nothing can do. There's nothing can do. We don't have quality strikers in South Africa, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, and it's not Bruce's fault. It's not Evidence Makgopa's fault. It's just the nature of our football. You think about it, man. If you look at the previous winners of the Golden Boot, I could bet you my left hand, majority of them are foreign players, foreign strikers than local strikers. Yes. So it goes to show that in our development systems or in our development structures, there's a gap we need to fill. Like, Sifiso.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, man, excuse me, I got cut again, man. Yo.
Yes, I saw that.
I can't even see you now, but can you see me at least?
Yeah.
Okay, apologies for that. We got cut again, but it's recording. We're back on it again.
Yeah.
I was saying, man, so before I got cut, by my own network. It shows that in our development, there's a gap there we need to fill in terms of strikers. We really, really need to emphasize getting strikers from South Africa. Other countries don't seem to be shy in doing this. Like Egypt, they're not shy to get goalkeepers from Egypt and have strong academies to develop goalkeepers to a point where they go and say, in our league, we don't want foreign goalkeepers. We just want our goalkeepers. That makes the national team stronger. But with us, we seem to be very casual about things. It will happen. Let players play. But why aren't we saying to former players like the greatest goal scorer in PSL history, Siyabonga Nomvete? He's coaching somewhere. I don't know. Last time I checked, he was in Amazulu. I'm not sure if he's still there. Siyabonga Nomvete, Benny McCarthy, if you can afford him. Guys like Abu Kilampe, I would go as far as saying even down the line, the Sundowns legend, Daniel Mambush Mudau, guys like that. Why isn't Safa going to fetch these guys? Even, Sean Bartlett, even to a certain degree. I know he's also coaching, but why isn't Safa trying to get those guys involved in saying, let's recruit young strikers, let's develop young strikers, specifically center forwards or guys who can play in the forward line. Development, just that. Even if it's not every day, but at least have courses where you say, guys, we've identified under 15s in South Africa from all the clubs that have academies or all the academies. We're having a camp for strikers, and it will be Benny McCarthy giving masterclass. You know, Benny McCarthy's got UEFA licenses, he's got all sorts of stuff. He's a coach. If Safa can call him and give him money, I'm sure he would want to be paid, of course, compensated. He comes from, he's in Europe, I think in Scotland, comes from Scotland, comes here, he gets some compensation. For at least 2 weeks, he coaches from under 13 to under 17. Then they change it. Then another time, maybe it's Siyabonga Nomvete. And like, oh, you know, we have some form of a strikers program. I'm telling you, bro, in about 10, 5 years, I believe that can help. But it won't happen because of politics and you must satisfy this person. But I wish we could think like that. Because you watch cricket like me, you watch cricket like me. You know in cricket, they are not scared to say, we want a black batsman. And they'll go to every township in South Africa where black kids are playing cricket. And they will develop one or two people and they will bring them into the national system to say, you've been developed, you've been coached, show us what you can do. They are not scared to do that in rugby. With rugby, it's the same thing. We've seen how they've worked hard to transform the team by including more black and colored players. And they went all out to go to the townships, to go wherever and find Abumakazole Mampimpi, Lucanio Arm, Sia Kolisi, all these guys. They worked so hard to find them. But in football, we seem to be reluctant. It's like we expect these things to happen to us, to knock us over. But if we don't put in the work to find the next big striker, to go and find the next best team, we're not going to find it. And Bafana Bafana will continue to struggle. Because for me, I look at the current team, I'm happy. I just feel like we are a quality striker away. And we're a quality striker away from probably being a consistent top team. And it's not Bruce's fault. Bruce has tried different strikers. He's tried Pesitao in the number 9 role. Pesitao was off form. Lyle Foster came in. He impressed us a few games. Disappeared. Now we don't know. He's injured. His mental health issues. Now we're stuck with Makgopa. And credit to Makgopa. He's been there. He's never given us issues. But we know he's not the best. He's never given us issues. And I don't want to attack the guy. But he's very limited. He's a very limited football player, and we don't have data currently. We can't pick Shaluli. we can't pick other guys. I don't know if Chibaviro qualifies. I think we can't choose him. We can't pick those guys, in fact. Abu Mahango, we can't pick them. They're not South African. So we're stuck with the best of South Africa, and currently it's Makgopa. As much as I think he's not the player to take us into the gold or silver medals, because we were a striker away in January, a striker away. Anyway.
Exactly.
Moving on so that we can start wrapping up. Yeah, we're speaking about Bafana Bafana, and we're speaking about players that we can't have. Recently, there was an interview there, this man, Lucas Ribeiro Costa from Sundowns. We spoke about him. You and I think we both love him. We admire him. I'm sure we can agree he's probably the best in the PSL currently. Lucas said that he would be interested in playing for Bafana Bafana. And there's been mixed reactions about this. I just want to hear your opinion. How would you feel about not just Lucas, but if we had this opportunity to take over Marcelo Allende, Gaston Sereno, and maybe other guys even from the African continent who are playing here but who've never played for the national team. Then they are here for about 5 years. They become, citizens via that time of staying and working here. And after they become citizens, we are allowed by FIFA rules to pick them for Bafana Bafana. How would you feel us getting those type of guys in to come help? Is it something that you would support or not?
Without any doubt, they are good players. Without any doubt, they are very good players. And they've proven, we're still a bit far when it comes to football. They come from Brazil, most of them, and they come from a place where football in Brazil is top. And they proven, PSL, quality Brazil or it's not the same quality as PSL. Do we need them? Yes, we need players like that. We need players like that. Ribeiro, we need the players like Allende, Sereno. We need them in the squad. But for me, I feel like we can invest more in developing our own and making more players than we have now. Because I think we do have quality in the squad, very, very good quality in the squad. We have Sundowns. Most 80% of the players are from Sundowns. They're doing well in the league. They're performing well as well in the squad. They've proven they went to the semi-finals and so on. But I still feel Uguti, we can invest more in in our own players. And like you said, we can boost our developments, man. We go to Ekasi. I think there are players that are so good, Ekasi. When we can make some systems that we can try to implement Ekasi and find such players, I think we can find those players. And they can make a huge difference in the Bafana Bafana squad. And we can start today. We can start today and moving forward. We cannot start in the next 10 years or so, but we can start today trying to develop. And in the next coming 15 or 10 years, we'll be thanking ourselves and say, whatever we did it right, and we are reaping the fruits. But unfortunately, with South African politics, you can't do that. But do we need them? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We need such quality, more especially in the World Cup games. In the World Cup games, we do need such quality. But aside in Lami, personally, I feel like we can still do more in investing more in the development side. That's what I think.
Okay, I hear you. Basically, you're saying, oh, instead of maybe choosing Gaston Soriano, we'd rather go and develop another younger player and give them chances.
Yes.
And you know what? I agree with that, because I was thinking about it, and I saw the reaction from people, and I'm like, well, we don't have an option currently, because we failed ourselves in getting our players to be at the level where we don't need to go and buy Gaston Soriano for 30 million rand, allegedly, or whatever, to come here and improve Sundowns. Or we don't have to go and pay these players to come here. And then once they're here, we're like, wow, these guys are really talented. Let's use them in Bafana Bafana. If we had the strong systems and the strong, which we have talent. The problem is we have good talent. We probably have talent as equal as to where those guys come from. The only difference there is that the structure of development is well structured. The one here is not. So now we are forced to stay. We don't have quality. And now when Ribeiro comes here and he's doing all these things, he looks better than our players. But because he's better developed than our players, and we end up saying, hey, but Ribeiro can come help. As much as I think he can, I would take Serena, I would take Ribeiro, I would take Allende, I would take all three. I would choose all three. I would play them. I would play them, and then, hey, man, because that's how football is, unfortunately, because the world has changed. It's a very cosmopolitan world. People are moving all over the world. They're starting families. Those people, when they get to that country, they become naturalized to that country. And then they end up representing. We see with France, everybody talks about France is represented literally by African players. There's no some, but those people are now French.
Yes.
And France would probably tell you, hey, man, look, these players from whether they were born in Africa and they moved here, or they were born here and they have African parents, they are French and we are winning. So I would also want to adapt something similar to say, you know what, man, if there's guys here from, if your father and your mother are Nigerian and you're born in South Africa, but you happen to be a good striker and you're scoring, hey, man, look, come help us, man. Come, you are South African. You lived here, you grew up here. It's just your roots are in Nigeria, but you are here. I would want to talk to a guy like that and say, come help us. We need goals or whatever. So I would take them. But again, you're right. I can't agree with you more when you say it goes back to us investing in ourselves, making sure our development structures are strong enough so that we don't have to have conversations like this. And that's probably one thing South Africa doesn't take full advantage of in countries, is that we have structure. We have a strong league, a structured league, a league that pays the most prize money, and we have facilities compared to everybody else in South Africa. If you look at the national teams we compete with, general, more than half their squads, they are selecting based from Europe. We can choose 80 to 90% of a squad from our own league and still come third in AFCON. That is a huge advantage because the coach knows all those players. He can easily interact with Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal. Those players, the Nigerian coach or Ghanaian coach, he has to go all over the place and find players. And sometimes they don't combine. Hence, the results don't come. With us, at least we know. We've got a back five from Sundowns. We know we see them play every week. We've got a midfield, two players from Sundowns, one from maybe Stellenbosch. You get me? Up front, we know we've got a striker from Pirates. We can have a left wing from Pirates, even another right wing from Pirates. We've got combinations that are already playing regularly. All we have to do is just get them on the field. Unlike in Nigeria, where the coach still has to go and find the players from Europe because most of them are not playing in his country. He has to travel around the world, find them, make selections, but bring them home. Then start building team chemistry, start building the team cohesiveness. We don't have that problem. I think it's the biggest advantage of where we are right now. But then development structures and investing into going into the future. So I think that's where probably we are lacking. Hopefully, things will change. We'll get a new president who's got an eyeball for the future, not the current guy who's just looking to pocket money or whatever he's doing. Anyway, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, just to the last topic, man. We had a very good coach resign. I don't think he resigned on TV. I know people say he resigned on TV, but he resigned last week. Said Ramovic, aka Mr. Sunshine. I think he's very, very famous. His claim to fame in South African football was his off the field fights with Rulani Mokwena last season, calling Mr. Mokwena Sunshine and all sorts of stuff. The game was hot. They were sweating at each other. That's probably his biggest achievement in South African football. That. He resigned though. I just wanna get your feeling as we wrap up on how do you feel about such a coach coming into South Africa? And he did okay. He didn't do bad. He did okay. But now leaving and now resigning. How do you feel about it, Sifiso?
It's unfortunate for Galaxy to lose such a coach. I think he's a good coach. He's a quality coach for me, and he has done wonders with the Galaxy. Since he came to Galaxy, I think they stayed UPSL, not relegated. And now they are in danger of being relegated. And it's unfortunate because they've lost a quality coach. For me, he's a good coach, that guy. He has done very, very well. Some of the players that he coached to Galaxy are playing for teams like Kaizer Chiefs, Abom Simango. You see, when a team starts to develop players that are attracting so-called bigger teams, then you know that team is doing very well. There's something good that team is doing. So even their goalkeeper, although I don't know what Kaizer Chiefs is doing signing that goalkeeper, but this is a topic for another day. But but it's true. We have to be honest. The guy is Yavuza that guy. But he's done well with TS Galaxy. But I just asking myself a question: which coach are they going to appoint at the Galaxy? Because it's not easy to get coaches these days, especially when you coach teams like the Galaxy. You have to make sure that you get a coach that will keep you in the PSL. And he has done that for so many seasons. And then at some point he was one of the coaches who were wanted by Kaizer Chiefs at some point. He's that good. And I think he was going to do well in Kaizer Chiefs. He was selected and he was going to be deserving of a call-up for Kaizer Chiefs. But it's unfortunate for him. I think what is happening there at Galaxy is so confusing. I think there's a problem there. TS Galaxy, because the way he was saying it when he was resigning, you can see in the management, the TS Galaxy, there's something happening there, which is not right. And you could see by the performance, the Galaxy is going down. Galaxy, they've lost quality players in their team. And unfortunately, he even said that they can't replace those players. And if they can't replace those players, a quality coach like that, if you can't find him such quality players, he will definitely resign. He won't do anything because he needs to start afresh, develop players, and that will put pressure on him, and he will end up not performing, and then the team will end up in relegation. I don't see the guy is a coward by resigning. I absolutely don't think he's a coward. I feel he doesn't have enough resources. To make ETS Galaxy to perform the way it was performing constantly season by season, they were consistent in their performance, and they were giving teams like Mamelodi Sundowns tough time, teams like Kaizer Chiefs tough time, and Orlando Pirates. They were giving both bigger teams tough time, and they are not just. I feel this Galaxy is not just an ordinary team for me. Like you were talking about those so-called teams like Royal AM. I don't count this Galaxy amongst those because of their performance. And the quality that they signed, the experience that they had, about Vuyomire, about Parker, they came into US Galaxy and they did they made a very, very huge defense. And you lose players like that, you lose because of aging, and you lose also players like that because of players who are quality by bigger teams. It's a problem. It's a problem. So the guy just chose to resign, and I don't blame him. I think it's a good step for him because if you can't get quality, then what else can you do? The team will not perform.
Yeah, man. Whew. I agree with you, man. I was thinking about it that I feel sorry for coaches like him, Gavin Hunt,
Yeah, yeah,
Steve Barker.
yes,
I'll even go as
mm,
far as
mm,
your Marumo Gallants coach Dan Malesela, because what happens normally is that these guys for a season, they will get players that we've never heard of.
yes,
They will develop them, they will improve them. These players will shine, and then Sundowns will come, Pirates will come, Chiefs will come, and
yes.
they give the owner man Yamuna Chief.
Mm,
And unfortunately, the financial
mm,
situations of some of those teams forces them to sell their best players. Then that means the next season the coach must restart again and again. I think we see that a lot with Super Sport United. Every season Kevin has to sell two to three players of his best players to Sundowns, and they always sell to Sundowns. Then Hunt must go back to the DDC side, find them, improve them, and then sell again. It's been happening. It's been a cycle at Supersport for a long time. And I think coaches like Kevin Hunt, coaches like Said Ramovic, for that situation, for me, deserve a whole lot of credit. And I don't blame Ramovic for quitting because Ramovic probably looks at it and like, Chiefs wanted me. I think there was a team in Morocco that wanted him, Raja Casablanca or something.
yes, exactly.
It's just that he was going and then
Mm,
something went
definitely,
wrong. Then he had to come back.
yeah, it's boring.
But if he's thinking about it, he's like,
Mm,
why should I stay here, improve the team? Then the owner's gonna sell all the players. Then he's gonna go and he's gonna tell me, let's go to DDC, let's go to the township, let's go find new players. Then I must coach, improve. I'm never going to win. And that's a fact. TS Galaxy will not win trophies like that unless they get very lucky. But
never.
it's going to take a lot of luck for them to win
Mm,
MTN 8 or a Carling Cup or a NetBank. They won't even win the league because they can't have the same team. And you can see that most of the players that
yeah.
he groomed, like you mentioned that goalkeeper, Nsimango, they left. Omabutu Obas was also there. He left. Mujela, who's doing well at Stellenbosch, he was there. He left. You look at a young guy, like he found him at the Chiefs Academy. That apparently he was a ball boy at Chiefs. Puso Diteja. He went and found Puso Diteja. He's giving him a chance. Diteja is shining. Then come next season, Diteja might go back to Chiefs or might be bought by Sundowns or he might go elsewhere. Then he's stuck again. He has to find new players and do it again. And I think at some point it gets frustrating for a coach, and the coach has to move on. So good luck to Ramovic. I think he's a good coach. He's proven his worth. People always say this guy Juliano Mokoena never coached an average team and took it places. That's why they don't rate him. Well, Ramovic just did it. I think he took TS Galaxy, who for me were one of those teams that who fall into that category of I don't like those teams. They buy status already. It means you're not good enough to be in the league because you had to buy status to get into the league. They buy status, they get into the league, they buy status, then they're coming number 12, number 13. But Ramovic came in. I think they just fired that other guy, man, the other coach. Yeah, his name is here, but I forgot him now. I'm gonna tell you his name. Owen the Gama. I think they just
Yeah.
fired the Gama. They bring in
Onyaga.
Ramovic. We've never heard of
Yes.
Ramovic. I'm thinking here's another plumber there from Europe coming to chow money here. But to his credit, he's done an outstanding football job at the club. They came fourth last season. They had a cup final last season. He's been outstanding for you. It's a shame. It's a real shame for South African football and TX Galaxy as a club that he had to leave due to the circumstances surrounding him. But all the best to him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get a top club somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah, all the best. Definitely. Definitely, he's a good coach. He's a quality coach. I seen him what he has done. If you can be consistent in the PSL without being relegated and coming in and coming out, then you have some certain quality. You can say maybe our league has improved. It has improved at some point. It's difficult for teams to stay in the PSL because of that. But TS Galaxy was able to do that, and because of the coach who was so good. But I also wish him luck, and I think he's going to create a good team out there, and he's going to prove he is good quality. But TS Galaxy was supposed to try something to keep him, but unfortunately, the quality for him. Then it was not going to happen at all, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when business and the game clash. The owner wants to make money. He wants to survive.
Yeah.
He wants to be able to pay back
Yeah.
bills. So he has to sell those top players. The coach and he
Yes.
just wants those players to stay and coach.
Yes.
It can clash sometimes, especially at the teams
Definitely.
who don't have the sponsorships of a Pirates and Chiefs, or who don't have the luxury of an owner with big pockets like Sundowns. It does happen time to time. And I think sometimes like Supersport have a model. They know who Gavin Hunt knows the model. He knows his model is I'm coaching development players. Chances I'm gonna sell most of them. Then I must restart. That's the model. It's the same thing as coaching Dortmund or
Yeah.
Ajax in Europe. They have a model. We find the top talents, we bring them in, we improve them, we sell them, we make money like that. So I think Mr. Sugas needs to come up with his model with the next coaches. Tell them this is how we work, guys.
Yes.
We're not in the business of winning. We're in the business of coming top 8. Meaning we improve players for Kaiser Chiefs because he likes Kaiser Chiefs. We sell them to Kaiser Chiefs. That's the end of the story. So the coaches can accept it and make peace.
Definitely. Definitely. That's how it is. That's how it is, mister. That's how it is. It's unfortunate for him, but that's football for him.
Yeah. All right, man. On that note, my man, we've got about 2 minutes. Any closing remarks from your side?
Good luck to Bafana Bafana. I think they're going to do well in this one. I think they're going to do well in this. We just need to win one game, then we are done. So good luck for them. Good luck to them. I think they will do well and they'll make us proud in this coming week.
Right,
we'll see what happens after these games. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
No, man, yeah. My parting shot, same thing as well. Good luck to Bafana Bafana. One more win. Then we're there. I'm sure everybody's excited for them to go and qualify. We've got a strong team, good players, good coach.
Yeah.
The nation is back behind the team. I think there's no reason for us not to get what's left, get it done. Yeah. And also I want to say thank you, Sifiso, again for your patience. Everything, we're still not at that level, but we're getting better. So we win one thing every week. We're like TH Galaxy in this game of
exactly.
We're improving. But yeah, thanks for your patience.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your time as well, my brother. I appreciate it so much. And also thank you to our viewers for also. I know when it comes out on YouTube, it will be a bit funny, but thank you for bearing and watching through it. And then we'll catch you again next week when we'll be discussing Bafana Bafana's game. Hopefully, Bafana Bafana's win and qualification for the next round.
Exactly. No, sharp, brother man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Fiso.
Thank you so much.
Sure.